All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, guys? For today's watch review, we're talking about the Timex Navi XL. This is the NASA edition. Before we get into the review, let's do a quick wrist check. I'm currently rocking another Timex. This is my Timex Atlantis. This is one of my all-time favorite budget-friendly digital watches. I have done a review on it, so go check it out. Going back to the Navi XL, we'll go and get started on our first talking point, which is a 360 view, as well as dimensions. Also, this is the package that it comes in. Very boilerplate, nothing crazy here. But let's take a look at the front. And here's the back. You've got the NASA logo there, so that's kind of cool. But other than that, very simple design. And here are the dimensions. Nothing too crazy here with the dimensions. It's not large, it's not small, it's right there in your average sized analog watch. A score for dimensions, I give it 5 out of 5. There's really nothing I would change here, so great job on dimensions. Next talking point is price. But going off of the Timex website, which that was the only place I could find this specific watch, you're looking at a list price of $129. The score I give for price is 2.5 out of 5. I know that sounds kind of low, but we will discuss further on in the review why it got such a low score. Next talking point is functions and features. Off the get-go, or off the bat, you've got this bezel. It goes both ways, so I don't know what the technical term is. I think it's a friction bezel, but no clicks here. So that's good and bad, depending on what kind of person you are and what you're into in watches. I know some people really like the clicking bezel. To me, this is kind of nice because I don't have to go all the way around counterclockwise to set the bezel. I can go, either direction. So that's not necessarily a bad thing in my opinion. Other than that, that's pretty much what you're getting for functions and features here. There is lume, not very strong. We'll discuss that later on. No date display. You do have a 24-hour time, so you've got your regular indices, and then next to them you've got your afternoon variants of it. So right now you've got 2 o'clock, or so 2 a.m. or 1400. I think that's kind of cool. I do like that. For functions and features, I give it a 3 out of 5, and that is mostly tied in to the price. I do believe $130 is kind of high for getting such a basic watch with this limited feature set. Again, my opinion, so please don't take it personally. Next talking point is illumination. We'll go ahead and cue in the footage on illumination. And so you do have your standard lume. It's not going to last the whole night. It'll probably last you all of maybe 30 minutes, and that's pushing it. One thing that really disappoints me on this is the lack of Indiglow. Indiglow is fantastic, and I don't know why for having this quartz watch they wouldn't put that as a feature. Especially because they have the NASA logo on it. You'd think that being part of NASA or something, you'd want to have a watch that you could see clearly in a dark room, and the fact that the lume isn't even that great is very disappointing. So the score for illumination, I give it 2 out of 5. 1 point because it actually has it, and 2, or it actually has some kind of lume, and then another point because it lasts longer than a second. I mean, I'm just really disappointed here with the illumination. Next talking point is visibility. This is where I give it a 5 out of 5 because it is a gorgeous watch and it's very easy to tell the time. The fact that the hour hand has that circle design right there, so it'll go over the was it the evening time, or the indice, the number right there, so 1400. I think that's just a really cool feature about it. I like it. I appreciate it. So I give it 5 out of 5 for visibility. Next talking point is button crown quality. So you just got the crown here. Nothing too crazy here. Textured or coined edge. It is not a screw down crown, but I mean, it's your standard crown. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5, or sorry, a 4.5 out of 5, just because I can't really knock it for anything. It functions flawlessly. It does what it needs to do, but I would have preferred a screw down crown, and that is also just a preference of mine. I know that it doesn't affect the performance of this watch whatsoever. It's one of those things that I prefer, though. Next talking point is band quality and comfort. So disclaimer, this is not the standard band that it comes with. It is a Timex band, so I ordered this off of the website. However, what it comes with is this, I don't even know what kind of texture this is, but it's some type of like cloth nylon texture. It's very good quality, very sturdy. So for the going off of this band, I give it a 5 out of 5. I mean, it's comfortable and it'll wear on your wrist just fine. And I also give a 5 out of 5 for this other Timex band that I attached on it. And I think you'll agree that it gives this watch a totally different look. It really ties it well, or kind of gives it a kind of oomph in the higher quality level, if you get what I'm saying. So 5 out of 5 for band quality and comfort. Actually, let's show you what it looks like on the wrist. I know that drives some people crazy when I don't actually put it on the wrist. So there you go, that's what you're looking at. Like I said, standard size, not too big, not too small. Next talking point is the X factor. These are qualities of the watch that aren't really quantifiable. It's more like charisma, charm, attractiveness, all that stuff. And all 100% my own personal opinion. So my personal opinion is the X factor is 5 out of 5. And that is because it looks super clean. You've got the NASA logo, which that in and of itself is a crowd pleaser. If you're like me, you're a child, kind of like a geek. You were raised on sci-fi movies and all that stuff. Something like this is really going to appeal to you. You've got the white face and the red NASA logo and the blue bezel with the red pip. I mean, all of it is just so fun. And it still looks mature, still looks sophisticated, while catering to your inner child as well. And for that reason alone, it gets an X factor of 5 out of 5, which really saves the overall score of this watch. Next talking point and last talking point is my overall thoughts and should you buy. So averaging out all the scores, we get a grand total of 4 out of 5. Now that is a little bit high in my opinion. My personal opinion, I would have given it a 3 out of 5, but because of that X factor score, it bumped it up another point. I say 3 out of 5 because there's really not much about this watch that justifies the $130 price tag, aside from it being one of those low supply Timex watches. You get what I'm saying? Like, you go to the website and some watches are always out of stock. That's kind of the case with this one. You'll find probably right now, if you go to the website, it's out of stock. So I think that creates this false sense of urgency to buy the watch, therefore inflating the price, and then you've got that NASA logo also upping the price. But in the end, this total package, you've got a watch with no Indiglo, no date, nothing whatsoever, other than just a standard quartz analog watch, which there's nothing wrong with that. But to me, that means $60, maybe $80 at most. But $130, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I could be cheap, which I am cheap. I'm not a millionaire, not by any means whatsoever. So I am always trying to get the best price, and $130 doesn't make sense to me. But because of the charisma, because of that total package, how that white face and the red logo, it all just ties in together, that's what saves it for me. And for you, that might not be enough. If you are actually trying to buy a watch to tell the time and that's it, and not because you're a collector, then I highly recommend you pass this watch and go get maybe a different Navi XL. Get one that's just plain, that's not as expensive. Get the automatic one. They have automatic versions of this watch, which are also very expensive in my opinion. I think you could probably get a very high quality automatic Seiko for cheaper than what you're getting an automatic Timex for. So that's my opinion. All in all, this is a fun watch. It's not one to be, I guess, added to your collection of tool watches or utilitarian watches. This is more just for show and tell, I think. Again, if you disagree with me, please make sure to flame spray me in the comments section below. But other than that, that's all I got to say. I hope that this helps you with your next watch purchase. Thank you for watching, and tune in for my next episode. All right, bye.